Welcome back, boys. Welcome to another episode of the Banter podcast.
I
Did you guys
What's up?
catch that really exciting game at Etihad on Sunday?
Really
Yes, we
exciting
did.
for who?
Really exciting for all the fans. I don't know, for a neutral, must have been boring as hell. Oh, but as an Arsenal fan, it feels good.
Yeah, I mean, I went into that game with so much expectation. I'm not talking about just like one team winning or losing or drawing or whatever. I just thought it would be much more exciting than it actually turned out to be. I guess like both teams just wanted to instead of winning, both teams just didn't want to lose. They just wanted to stay in the game for as long as possible. So I just felt like it was, as a neutral viewer at least, it was a massive letdown from what I was expecting of Sunday night football of a good Premier League top of the table clash. What do you think of it, Shashank?
I actually came into the match with also big expectations that we will actually win it. But when the match started and when you see that City is holding so much possession, and generally it's the contrary. When they came to Etihad, we no, when they came to Emirates, we had the majority of the possession, and it gave us a good flow for the offense. And this is not the case in this game. And then I saw that we were actually sitting back, and they had more control in the midfield. So somehow I realized that this game is not going to be a high scoring game. I was expecting a 1-1 draw, but I really appreciate how they played. The defense was stellar. Like I've not seen Arsenal defend better than this. That too against City, it was incredible. It was absolutely a level above their season performance, and it was really a pleasure to watch. Even though we didn't get the win, we also did not lose. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a bad game for us. But I would take this result any day.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see, but I have this huge grin. I have this huge smile on my face. I cannot contain my happiness, excitement. I have goosebumps right now because just listening to hear you speak, right? I was just replaying the entire match in my
Same,
head,
yeah.
and the one thing that we had to do was not lose. Okay, see, winning is there. That's great. Winning would be the best possible thing ever. But not losing this was so important for so many reasons. But the most important reason is I think in Etihad, we have been so bad over the years. We've struggled. And see, Sashank, I remember we spoke in that preview of Arsenal Porto where I
Hmm.
agree with you saying that we would probably demolish our opponent's final 6
Yeah,
0 right at Emirates and stuff.
yeah,
But after seeing that, we had a reality check. Like we kind of like humbled down. And going to Etihad,
it is.
probably the most difficult club, the most difficult place to play a match. We did so good, which is why even you have all these haters, who are already talking about how Arsenal, oh, they should have won this match. Oh, how can you not? Why you all settling for 1 point?
They,
I'm
they,
one
they
of them.
No,
parked the bus. They
I'm
pick
one
parked the
of them.
bus.
I'm
anything to
one of
make you
them.
happy. Seriously, if Arsenal had won
Yeah.
that match 1-0, they would have been like, oh, why didn't you all score more? Only
Score
one
more.
goal. Why are you happy with?
I mean,
Come
they
on,
never
man.
asked Pep the same question, man. He parked the bus against us.
Yeah,
No, no, no.
exactly.
When Pep does it, it's a tactical masterclass to save a bad day. But when we do it, no, it's not good enough.
I think we
Look,
handle this game
okay.
far.
Let me say, like you said hater, right? I'm not a hater. Like I would love it nothing more than having Arsenal's young team actually win the title. But at the outset, before I say what I want to say, let me just say the point was a great result. Absolutely no doubt about it. I'm not even debating that fact. Definitely keeps them in the title race. All of that is good. In the grand scheme of things, of course, you're competing with the likes of Man City. As an Arsenal fan, I can understand where you're coming from. After so many years, you're at the level that you're competing with City. You're managing to keep clean sheets and all of that. But just purely from a game perspective, right? The one game that I saw as a neutral fan, I think City were there for the taking. They were right. The entire backline apart from Ruben Diaz was not first choice. Stones was not there. Walker was not there. Ake was injured in the first half. The front line was massively misfiring. Of course, kudos to Arsenal's defense. They were absolutely superb. But if Haaland had taken a couple of chances, the clean sheet wouldn't have been there. You and I both know that. Of course, the clean sheet is important. But if Haaland had taken that one or two chances, which they did concede. So my point is, when when you look back at all the things that could have, I remember this episode where Shashank was saying how December's form or January's form could be
Mhm.
detrimental to the end of the title race, right? So I as a viewer, like if City were completely dominating, and they, of course, possession is not a stat that I still remember one Mourinho stat very well, when he said that you can have 90% of the ball, I'll take the 3 points home. So even though they had possession, their XG was probably 0.4 or 0.5. So City were not completely dominant in terms of how they usually are. They hardly created anything. I guess their XG was like 0.5, 0.6. Not great at all. They created one or two openings. I mean, of course, Haaland missed a very good opening, but apart from that, they had nothing. And in fact, Arsenal had a couple of good, decent openings
Yeah.
themselves. So I saw a couple of Arsenal fans. I mean, of course, everyone was very happy with the point, which is as they should be. But some people were actually on social media saying the things that I wanted to say, which was basically like Arsenal could have played their natural way and could have done a lot more, shown a lot more initiative to try for those 3 points. Of course, they got the point, great, but I feel like they altered their game too much. Like Arteta went there thinking that let me first not lose, and then we'll see if we manage to get the victory, great, which is okay. But in a title race, this is your best chance. You take the 3 points. You're top of the table, and you have control in your own hands. The Liverpool and Arsenal's fixtures are very similar to each other right now. I think in terms of difficulty wise, I guess both of them are playing Tottenham. I
I
think
think Liverpool have a very much easier stretch
both of
coming
them
up. We
have
have
United. Okay, or maybe, but yeah,
United and
exactly.
Spurs.
So
Yeah.
that kind of reinforces my point. When you have a chance, I'm not saying you should have beaten them 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. No, that's not going to happen. I'm not one of them people to say yeah, smash and grab victory is not a victory. Of course, a victory is a victory. 3 points is 3 points. I'm just saying there could have been a lot more that Arsenal could have done in terms of, because the back line was very shaky. Whenever Arsenal did eventually get forward one or two times, they managed to actually get good openings, good shots on target. Actually, so I'm just thinking from a neutral perspective. If I were to see that game, when City are not at the top of their game, so to speak, their usual game, I think Arsenal could have been much more proactive in maybe first half they sat back, they absorbed the pressure, they closed the gaps. But in the second half, I think they could have done a lot more, especially since Martinelli came on. Martinelli actually, managed to make a bit of a difference in terms of like directness towards the goal. And as City pressed and pressed, and they kept missing their chances, or they kept missing that final pass. Even on the counter, I think Arsenal could have, shown a little bit more urgency to take that 3 points instead of one, and have their destiny in their own hands, right? So I just feel like somewhere down the line, if Liverpool go on to win this title, because now see, at the end of the day, even if they had not got this point, it would still be a one game. Everyone would be within one game. You
Game
would
on one
still
game.
need Liverpool to drop one game. Simple as that. So I'm just saying the reward factor for this was much higher than the risk that they could have taken. Right? If they had lost on the count, pushing forward, lost 1-0. Yes, the loss would have, of course, been detrimental. But again, the three teams wouldn't have changed in terms of like how many games each team had to drop for the other team to win the title, right?
Yeah.
So just looking at it from that perspective, I think Arsenal changed their game too much. Like they, they're usually free flowing, they're attacking. Uh, they have, Declan Rice. He's usually given the freedom to push forward. He was so hemmed in for most of like probably 60, 65, 70 minutes. He was completely hemmed in. Of course, that's because of City's game. I understand that. But whenever he did have the chance to go, also they played it very safe. So of course the point is a very good result, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And I'm not debating the fact that the point is not good, but I'm just saying that extra 2 points would have gone a long way in giving Arsenal the confidence for that final push, considering the fact that they're playing Tottenham, they are playing United, same as Liverpool. The rest of the fixtures, yeah, might be going Liverpool's way in terms of easiness of the fixtures, so to speak. But they still, in terms of the big games, I think both teams have the same number of big games. I guess they're
Mhm.
playing Manchester United once. I guess they're playing Tottenham once, and maybe another team each in the top half of the table. So I just feel like that was their chance. And when you look back, if they lose the title by 1 point or 2 points or 3 points, of course you can. In retrospect, you can point at any game, right? You can point at a billion games where they drop points. But this was a game against a direct rival, and I genuinely think they shouldn't have modified their game plan so much that at a point it became like Arsenal won the point and City lost 2 points. I don't think that does justice to the team that Arsenal have been this season, right? And I don't think as fans you should just settle for that, because Arsenal have been, if the better team in the Premier League at least, if not equal to City, and the table tells you the truth, right? So I just feel like on the social media, the narrative is Arsenal won a point, Arsenal went to Etihad and won a point, City dropped 2 points. City have the yeah, that's fine if there's a huge gulf in class, right? If Brighton come into Etihad and win a point, I'm going to be like, yeah, Brighton won a point at the Etihad. I just feel like Arsenal were equal and probably even superior to City. So I just feel if they had just taken that one last step, maybe they would have conceded and lost the point as well. But losing 1 point versus gaining 2 points, the risk reward factor would have definitely favored them, and I would have genuinely appreciated it if Arsenal went in search of the winner and then lost the game, rather than settling for the draw and this having this whole narrative that Arsenal won a point and City lost 2 points. I just don't feel that does justice to the team that Arsenal have been this season, as a neutral fan at least. Because of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
as Arsenal fans, I'm sure you guys might not agree with me. That's okay. But as a neutral fan, when I look at it, I feel like Arsenal should be winning this title. This is
Hmm.
their title for the taking. Of course, I am
Mhm.
I'm taking City to win the title solely because of their winning experience. But I genuinely think this is Arsenal's title to lose right now. They have, I mean, until this game at least. Now, of course, Liverpool have the 3 point or 2 point lead or whatever it is, and they have their destiny in their own hands. But I feel like this was the season, especially building on the progress from last season. They really could have done at various points. They could have done a little bit more, but of course it's been a great season so far, and of course if they manage to pull it off, my entire argument is moot, right? Of course, if they manage to pull it off, no one cares who got
Yeah.
the point, who lost, who won. So at the end of the day, that's what matters. So like, that's why I said the other day, I guess we'll know more after the 9 games. But just purely from that 90 minutes, my takeaway is Arsenal could have won 3. They ended up so-called winning 1 point, which I feel is really not what I expected from Arsenal this season at least.
We speak about how well Arsenal plays in a season, correct? They play such
Yeah.
insane football. They play such great football. And as a neutral fan, that's so exciting to watch. Yeah. As an Arsenal fan, that's very exciting to watch. It brings all of our hope back into the team. But the ability to change the way you play just for one particular game shows how badly we wanted that victory. Or that, and when I say victory, I don't mean the 3 points, I mean that 1 point. The goal for that particular day was not to lose. And I know that 1 point means the difference between Arsenal and City are still 1 point, correct? But that means we took 1 point and we prevented them from getting 2 more points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And I know you talk about how the table would not have changed if Arsenal had lost. I assure you, our season would have ended if we had lost against City. Okay. This is not just me. I think a lot of us feel that this City game, had we lost, our season was done. Because irrespective of how well we played the remainder of the season, we're probably out. Ashwin, at the end of that City game, Arsenal are still ahead of City by 1 point.
City. Yeah.
Okay. And we're
Exactly.
second.
But that's my point. That's
Yeah.
you're making my point. You're saying you took 1 point off City. If you look at it, why is it that City not taking 1 point off you, and you drop? Actually, City were behind you in the table, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, you could also be saying you're the better team. So City actually took 1 point of you and you dropped 2 points against an so-called inferior team, right? Why are you having that mentality of being the inferior team when you were equal, if not even better on that day? I'm saying that mentality to not even try to prove that you are the better team, not even try to take that win. City would never do that. Liverpool would never do that. That's why City are in such, City fans on social media, they're all posting like sad memes on Pep sitting in the dugout, like he'll turn this around and all of that. And I'm like, that's the winning mentality that you need to, you cannot fear failure so much. And failure in terms of 1 point, that point wouldn't have made a difference in terms of the game gap to Liverpool. Liverpool still need to drop a game now. Also, Liverpool need to drop a game even if you had lost a point
Yeah.
also. So I'm saying, yes, the point is great. Your point is completely valid. I'm saying, why is the shoe not on the other foot? Why are you playing this card of City being so much superior that we won 1 point? City won 1 point, you lost 2 points. It could be the same that way, right?
When was the
That's
last
what I'm
time
trying
we
to
went
get at.
to?
The mentality that Arsenal needed, which they
No.
have shown throughout. They've fought with
If
Porto. They've fought that
if
fighting mentality they've shown. They didn't even try
no,
to get
if
the 3 points.
I'm sorry, but if anything, the mentality we've shown this time is a lot more. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of the way our team has played this particular game. You're talking about going to Etihad. When was the last
But
time
if you
Arsenal
lose the
went to
title, what's
Etihad?
the point of it?
When was the last
Wait.
time Arsenal went to Etihad and gave such a result, got a single
That's
point?
not the
We
point.
didn't. City
But
have
wait.
scored in Etihad for the last 57 games. We came out of there
That's
with a
not what I'm
clean sheet, not
saying.
letting
But
them score. There are so
but
many records you've broken with this particular game. Sachank, just one sec before you continue.
yeah, sure.
Okay. I always feel that in order to be the best, you need to beat the best. Okay. And right now, in this three-horse race, it's Arsenal, Liverpool, and City. Arsenal have got 4 points against each of these teams. We haven't lost against either of these teams, which means we've defeated both these teams at home and we've gone to their stadium and gotten 1 point back. So when I say we went there and got 1 point back, that is still a victory. And the fact that there are memes about Guardiola sitting sad in the dugout and about how Arsenal are happy about this shows that this feels like our victory and their loss because they also know how
Exactly.
important
You're making my point. You're making my point. The mentality that City feel like they have lost this is exactly why Arsenal should have tried much harder to actually take the victory and cement their place. Now
for
that when you
Arsenal
look
getting
back
this
at it,
one
right,
point was a victory.
it
Why are
doesn't
we
Agree.
matter if you take
celebrating?
4 points or it doesn't matter if you take 6 points or you take 0 points off them. At the end of the day, if Liverpool go on to win the title, nobody will remember how many points Arsenal took off City or how many points Arsenal took off Liverpool. Yes, as an
Correct.
Arsenal fan, definitely. As a neutral fan, I'm saying 100% the progress that you have shown, what a great season you have had, all those things, okay. But when you have the chance in hand, who knows how many more seasons? What if there's another downfall? For example, when you are at the top, you need to take advantage of it. Madrid did that at the top of their game. Barcelona did that at the top of their game. City are doing that at the top of their game. Liverpool did that for that 1 or 2 seasons where they were top of their game. They won their Champions Leagues. They won their Premier League. Arsenal right now, I genuinely feel in the Premier League, out of the three teams, Arsenal are the best team. Honestly.
Yeah,
City,
I
I
agree.
still support City to win the title for the sole reason that they have the winning experience. And the main factor is that mentality to go out and try to. Now, why I said that, I understand Karthik's message even better is Arsenal should have gone with the mentality we need to win 10 games. No point off City, 1 point off Liverpool, 4 points off
Mhm.
City, 3 points off United. Who cares? Win 10 games. Play with the same Arsenal that we have been playing with. Play our game. Forget about the rest. Play your natural
That
game.
would have
And
not
of course, you
worked
will change it.
against
Look,
City.
when
On
Barca go to
Sunday,
Burn, I'm sorry.
on Sunday, Arsenal playing the way Arsenal did would have not worked anything against City.
I'm not
We
saying it would have
won them
worked.
there
I
after
don't have a
last year.
crystal
Same
ball
thing
to look
happened.
back. I don't have a
You're
crystal ball
talking
to look
about the
back and say
same
it would have
list.
worked.
Arsenal had an 8 point lead over City last season. We still went to City with the same thing. Oh, we've been playing amazing football. Let's play the same. We got whooped 4-1. We need to do something
So
different. It's
at
not
the
the
end of
same
the
game you
day,
can play every
at the
against
end of
every
the day, there's
opposition.
something different didn't result in your victory as well. That's what I'm
We
saying. The
got. I do
mentality
not
changes
understand
that
why
you
you're
needed.
not understanding how important this 1 point is for us. It is.
Wait,
It
wait
is so much more
I'll
important.
explain how important this 1 point is. So I told that irrespective of whatever it is, Liverpool needs to drop a game based on this result. If we had lost, it's not only Liverpool who need to drop the game; it's also City, and City have a much easier
So
run
basically,
ahead.
everyone is within
So,
one game is what I meant to
but
say.
doesn't matter. But City is not going to drop a game after because you see their fixtures, remaining fixtures, much easier than the rest. So that means that City is not going to drop a game. And if they were ahead of us and we are the possibility of two teams dropping a game just so that we are going to win is not going to happen. One of them dropping, then it's not sure that it will. But two teams above you need to drop a game so that you go ahead to win. I don't think that is playing well into possibilities and probabilities. Even with data analytics and whoever is sitting on our bench doing all these mathematical calculation, I'm sure Arteta is not making these choices alone. I'm sure they have a simulation running. I'm sure they know where they are going to end up based on which result. They probably have everything done. So
Look,
they are not going to go ahead with the result blindly. Arteta did not change it thinking, okay, it doesn't matter. I just want to draw. It was not like that. I'm sure they have a simulation in the back. I'm sure there's much more happening that we are not even discussing about.
So you're telling me that according to the simulation, this point will win Arsenal the title. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes,
it's getting us closer to that.
We are on course to winning the Premier League. I assure you, with this point, we are still on course to winning the Premier League. Ashwin,
okay,
if you win the Premier League title by 4 points and Liverpool drop 2 games,
okay,
would this point mean the same? No, right?
Yeah, why not?
And my entire argument would be null and void because Arsenal won the title at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, but there's a manner in which you win. Like I said,
simulation, everything that all teams run, right?
Yeah.
What is that dialogue in Oppenheimer? Theory will only take you so far. There is no way that simulation will tell you City will definitely lose this game and this point you will win the Premier League by 1 point.
Correct. That's not going to happen. And combinations, it was imperative that City didn't win at Etihad.
Exactly. That's the important point there.
Win 3 points. City didn't win 3 points. They got 1 point. They lost.
That's exactly my point. Okay. That's exactly my point, and that's exactly the point I think Karthik was trying to make that day, which we laughed at him. The big teams, right? City, Madrid, so on and so forth. They go into every game thinking this is the game we are going to win. That is the problem with Arsenal. The mentality issue is there. The thing is, why are you depending on permutations, combinations? Who knows? Maybe you win the title by 10 points tomorrow, or you lose the title by 10 points.
Yes,
you go out there, you play Arsenal football. You make tactical changes, definitely defensively solid, so on and so forth, but not even trying to play your football.
No.
That is what I felt like.
No, you are playing the treble winners who are on course to winning the treble again. Okay,
and you're going to external
the point difference between Arsenal and City are 1 point. You're playing probably the most difficult team you're going to be playing this season in the most difficult venue. Okay, you can't just be yourself. You're a bunch of 25-year-olds who shat bricks in Portugal against Porto. Okay, so you cannot go with the same mentality because you need to adapt. You either adapt or you perish. It's very simple. I think these boys adapted really well to the situation, which is why all of us are considering this a win. Yes, we could have.
What situation? City were not even dominant. They just had 80% possession. They didn't create shit.
Exactly.
They were not dominant because Arsenal defended well. Yeah, it's not like they came and they
just. That's exactly the point I'm trying to make. Like, even if they created shit.
No. This is what I don't understand. The moment the match goes like this, City didn't play well. That's why Arsenal drew 1 point. What happened to Arsenal defending their lives out for 90 minutes?
Forget about what other people are saying. I'm not even saying City didn't play well and that's why Arsenal won the point. Arsenal played superbly. That's why they got the point. I am saying the narrative that Arsenal got the point is very degrading to Arsenal. That's what I'm saying, because Arsenal could have taken the 3 points. They were much better than City.
Maybe next year I would agree, but not this year. You know our record at Etihad. Man.
This is what you've been saying for years. Come on, man. Arsenal are in prime position. They are the best team in the Premier League.
We've been waiting every
this
year.
Is what we've been saying for a year, but next year we won't be saying the same thing.
This mentality of us being we are not we are playing treble winners. We are playing away from home. We are playing at home. We are 25-year-old. We need to. This should not even be there once you step out on the pitch. When you're off the pitch, you should.
Man.
When you step out on the pitch, you play equal to the other team. I'm not, and this would make sense if it was a huge gulf. If Luton Town were playing City and Luton Town go with that mindset, let's not even try to.
I think it's easier for Luton. I think it's easier for Luton Town to go out and think that than Arsenal, because they have nothing to lose.
Yes,
for them, going against City is just a show.
What do Arsenal have to lose? Arsenal are not. They have not done anything to so-called lose. If Madrid come out to City, they have that thing, oh shit, we cannot lose because we have something to live up to. What do Arsenal have to live up to? They have
We
not
also
done
have to
shit
live
so
up to the
far.
same.
One
This is
second.
their biggest chance to do something.
Exactly. This is a biggest chance, which means this is pressure. What?
Yeah.
Oh
Why?
my
When
god.
Madrid goes, it's one thing. Why when Arsenal goes, it's one thing?
It
Why is it not the
something else,
same
yeah.
thing?
Why it's
Why is
okay
it
to
more
Yeah,
have a
pressure for
draw for an
Arsenal?
El Clasico and not us?
Yeah. Why is
that's
it?
the point
It's
I'm trying
pressure.
to make. When
No,
Barcelona,
no.
regardless if Barcelona are 15 points behind Madrid, right? It doesn't matter. We are going to go to Bernabeu, even if we are the shittier team. We are going to say, you know what? We need to beat Madrid. Simple, simple, simple.
I
Whatever the way it
I
is,
haven't
simple.
seen that last El Clasico, but for sure.
Because we
No, no.
lost. Because we were an inferior
Exactly.
team. We lost. But Shashank,
But
at any
we
point
are,
in the game did we feel like we were inferior to Madrid? Absolutely not.
Who
We played
cares?
our game
Who
yeah, I
completely.
mean,
cares?
We
I mean,
lost.
Honestly,
you were
who
clearly
cares?
inferior. It's about
Nobody's
what you
going to
say or not.
Ashwin. Nobody's going
Exactly.
to care how Barca
You're
played.
making my
The
point, but you're
scoreboard
not
is what
understanding.
matters. Nobody 20 years from now is going to look
Exactly.
back at our
Result is what
podcast and
matters.
say,
And I
"Oh,
already said
wow."
result you got the point. That's amazing. I'm not even disputing the result. You're not understanding my point. The result is not being disputed here. The point is a point. You have still second. You have in with a chance to the Premier League. I'm not even. I don't think you're getting my. I'm not saying the result is bad at all. At the end of the day, result is what matters. And at the end of the day, if Arsenal go on to win the title by 10 points, no one cares if they've lost to City 10-0 or they've beat City 10-0. That is not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is the risk reward factor of them winning 3 points would have been much higher, according to me. Of course, you have your different opinions, no
Yeah,
problem. Would
I
have
don't
been
think so.
much, much
Yeah.
better. When you look back at it, I feel this was their biggest chance to beat City. And honestly, they could have done a bit more because they were the better team. They were absolutely the better team. They defended much better. On the counter, they were much more dangerous. And apart from that, one or two clear chances that, I mean, not even clear, one or two half chances that City created, Arsenal were the better team that day. And this was their chance to, completely take City out of the title and make it a two-horse race almost. Again, at the end of the day, point is there. Like you said, they've kept City behind them. Now only Liverpool need to drop points. This is assuming Arsenal win all their games from now. Even then, you will put all your permutations, combinations. They're playing City, he's playing Tottenham, they are playing. All those things work only in theory. At the end of the day, what Karthik said makes a lot more sense to me now. When he said Arsenal just need to clear their mind, they have absolutely right now at this point, apart from the fact that they're title contenders, they have nothing to lose. If City were to lose the title, it would be like, oh, the champions lost. If Liverpool were to lose the title, it would be like,
Mm.
oh, Liverpool, the final era, because Liverpool are an aging team as compared to Arsenal. Arsenal are a building team. They will get there plenty of chances now. Nobody, if Arsenal were to bottle, like how they bottled the title last time, okay, I wouldn't say bottle, but they lost the title last time.
Mhm.
They
Nobody,
bottled
nobody
it.
said, no,
They
nobody
bottled
said,
it.
oh,
Nobody
Arsenal are
bottled
a
They
it.
shit
bottled
team.
it. It's clearly bottled.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, but nobody said Arsenal are a shit team, right? Everyone said, oh, Arsenal have shown a lot more progress. Next season, they're going to be back. This season, they showed even more progress.
Uh,
Even now, if they're not able to take advantage, how many years do you think City or Liverpool or the likes of United or the likes of Chelsea will stay down? Not much longer. This is the the upward trajectory that Arsenal are on. They need to cash in now. Now is the time,
Correct.
and I
Yeah.
I just feel like a little bit more, just a little bit more, could have done a lot more for Arsenal at this point in their season and at this point in their evolution. Because again, if Arsenal lose the title, no one is going to say. I guarantee you, I am 100% telling you, if Arsenal lose the title, they won't even be in the conversation of bottling or whatever. It'll always be like, oh, Arsenal tried everything. They did it with their
No,
young team. This is super. This is an upward trajectory. Liverpool and
no.
City, not that. If City lose the title, okay, if Arsenal lose this title and City lose this title, which do you think will be a bigger failure? Simple, simple.
Arsenal.
Based on what, yeah, what
Arsenal
I've
Back to
losing
seen
back.
the
over
title.
the internet.
Yeah. Back to back.
What have
We were
Arsenal
supposed to win
won?
last year. Exactly. That's why we are
That's
losing
my
even.
point. Like, even when you didn't win last year, nobody, held it against you saying, oh,
Oh,
Arsenal are
everyone
Everyone
shit
held
held
it
it
team.
against.
against us.
Everyone
Everyone,
held it against.
including
Even
you,
now,
Ashwin, the first 5, 6 episodes of our podcast, we
it's
kept
always
talking about how
bottled.
Arsenal were bad during those last few games.
No, I'm saying
Exactly.
in terms of like losing the title. Of course, they bottled it from an 8 point. The see, you're not. I'm talking about a simple microcosm. Bottling an 8 point lead. yes, you lost the title. You're solely on by yourself. I'm talking about as a season as a whole. Nobody in the initial stages thought Arsenal would even reach that point, right? There was all these memes about that elephant on top of the table and all. Of course, once you reach that point, there was a bottle job, so to speak. But nobody at the end of it all, nobody said, "Oh, Arsenal are a shit team for not winning the title." They were like, "Arsenal are an upward team. Yeah, they should have won it this time, but definitely they'll come back again because Arsenal are a building team. They're a young team." Come on, what? No one said that. Now you're playing the victim mentality. Or
we are not playing the victim. It's the truth. When we bottled last time, only thing that everyone could talk about was how Arsenal played an incredible season and they bottled, and they are bottlers and they'll never get it. It's always even this.
Nobody said they'll never get it. Absolutely, no one said they'll never get it.
Everyone said.
They said everyone said
this for the same cup. They're always going to say it. Only
dude, see, if you're talking about United fans, obviously I don't have anything to say. Obviously, inter-city rivalries or inter-Premier League rivalries will exist. If Arsenal bottle, obviously United fans and Liverpool fans and City fans will laugh. I'm talking as a completely neutral fan base.
There are not many neutral fan base.
Outside Premier League or Barca. Yeah. Let me come even more. As a Barca fan, as a Madrid fan, as the Bayern Munich fans, as Dortmund fans, no neutral, so-called neutral fan ever said that Arsenal will never come back again, or the bottom job was very, very clear. Okay. But at the same time, the bottom line was, yes, they bottled it this time, but this experience will build them up to a much better team because they're a young team that are on an upward trajectory. Yeah, and this season, they have shown that growth to such an extent that I genuinely feel they are the best team in the Premier League. Right?
I agree.
So at this point, I just feel like Arsenal should have taken a little bit more advantage, little bit more initiative to show that, yeah, we are here to stay and we are on our
I think we showed that with that draw at Etihad. I think we showed everybody, maybe not you, but we showed the rest of the world that we are here to stay.
Difference in mentality. That's the difference in mentality.
That's not the difference in mentality. You see,
that mentality difference will only change when Arsenal win a title. When Arsenal win a title, when Arsenal are the winning team, when Arsenal are the champions.
That's why I agree. That's why I told you next season we'll talk about it because I'm saying we will win
this Arsenal
year.
Are the champions. Yeah, this same conversation we'll be having, and you will tell me that you lost a point to City.
A point.
That's That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. That championship mentality, right, should be there regardless of whether. I'm not saying Luton Town should have that mentality. No, because then. But if you don't have that mentality to win, to actually be champions, you're not going to be champions.
Okay.
Simple. Okay. When City were a shit team and they lost their first season by 15 points or 12 points or whatever, I think some other team. They lost the title to Liverpool. Every game, they didn't go out calculating. I mean, at least play style wise, they didn't go out calculating calculations. They went out.
When you're down by 15 points, there is no point anyway. I mean,
calculations because they lost so many games. They lost so many games because they played that way, Sasshank. They lost 4-3 to Tottenham in that season. They lost so many games to Tottenham throughout those two seasons because they play.
I don't think that's because of statistics or analytics. I think they just didn't play.
That's my point. They didn't care about statistics. They didn't care about analytics. They didn't care about permutations, combinations. They stuck to their process. They said, "Yeah, fine, we lost this title. We are going to continue building our team. We are going to continue playing our way, and we are going to make the other team adapt to us," which Arsenal did to City. And great, they got the point. But when Arsenal change that mentality and say, you know what, I don't care who is in front of us, they are going to have to adapt to us. That is when Arsenal will truly arrive at the top of their game. That is what the top team do. That is what Madrid do.
But I don't think any. I don't think any teams play without any analytics or let's say a simulation of what they expect.
Yeah, you're not. I'm not saying tactical balance is different from tactical. I'm not saying every game is
simulation is only telling you what the possibility is going to be there. Simulation is not going to help you win games. Simulation is not going to help you win games. It only tells you which game is the most important to you or what is the possible outcome. It's not telling you that you will win. That is completely up to you whether you win or not. And then when you lose, then comes the next computational model. It's only that you're just coping up with your results, something like that. And then you need to have a leeway for yourself. What are the possibilities? Like in the starting of the season, I'm sure City, I'm sure Arsenal, I'm sure Chelsea, none of them are thinking we'll win all 38. They know exactly what games they are allowed to lose. And they're probably not going to lose it. They're not probably going to lose it. That's what I'm telling you. They're not probably going to lose it. but they will have it in the calculation. City's loss to Aston Villa for sure is not calculated by Pep and his team, but it did happen. So I'm
That's
not
my
saying the
point,
competition
right?
model is
The
not.
game of football is
It's not
unpredictable.
absolute.
Why are you?
It's not absolute, but you need a framework. This is what it gives you. It's just.
Yeah.
It's
See,
just.
again, you're going to statistics and all of these things. I'm saying, very, very simply put, I'm telling you, this will happen, and this conversation will flip only when Arsenal win the title, and other teams go to Arsenal and say, you know what, we will change our play style. Because I feel Arsenal are at that level now. The only flip of switch that needs to be done to take Arsenal from title contenders to title holders or title winners is the simple fact of mentality. They need to go out now and say we are going to win our 9 games. It doesn't matter if you're playing City. It doesn't matter if the computer tells me I have 23% chance of winning United, 37% chance of beating Liverpool, 23%. It doesn't matter. Go out there, play every game to win. How to win? Completely, of course, that is tactical analysis. You cannot play the same game against every team. I'm
Exactly.
saying Arsenal
Exactly.
didn't even try to win. They didn't even
Who
try.
told
They
you
How,
we
went
didn't
to
we
the
win?
don't know
defense at
that.
one
Who
We
point.
don't know
told you? Who
that.
had more shots on target? If you look at the
That you could
highlights,
see
where was
from
the
the
ball
play
there,
style.
more?
You
Sorry,
could see from the play
we
styles
missed a
how they
couple
were.
of chances. The
Chances,
goal
yeah.
again was to draw, but it's not like we only sat back in our defense, no?
Exactly my
We
point. The
got better
goal was to
attacks.
draw. The goal was not to win. And the
Yeah,
goal, when
the
Arsenal are
goal
only going
was
to win
not
the title.
to lose. The goal was
Exactly.
not
You're
to
proving
lose.
my
Not a
point.
draw,
There
yeah.
are
You're proving my
big
point. Yeah.
repercussions for any of those other words that you use.
Exactly.
Okay,
You're proving my point. The
we
goal was
could
not
go
to lose.
ahead and win this season by 10 points, like you said, and have lost at Etihad 10-0. But you know what the difference would be? We would all celebrate. Yes, 20 years, we after 20 years, we're winning the Premier League. But next season, again, when we go back to Etihad, that will still haunt us. That's that one team we haven't been able
It
to
doesn't
conquer.
matter.
The
You're
one team,
champions. You
the
think
one
City
war
go to
we
It
haven't won.
matters.
you think City go to games and be like, oh, we lost here 2-0, so we'll change our play style. You think they go
Why
to
are you
Anfield and they
comparing?
it doesn't like
Doesn't
this?
have to be that. This is Arsenal
Yeah.
season to work our
So that
way.
is what I'm saying. I'm comparing. I'm not comparing City to Arsenal. I'm comparing City's championship mentality to Arsenal's
Yeah,
lesser
what about our
mentality.
mentality? I don't understand. What about this mentality don't you appreciate or respect? The fact that we didn't win
I
3 points in Etihad, is that what you didn't
No,
appreciate?
not that you didn't get 3 points in Etihad. The fact that you didn't even try to get 3 points at the Etihad.
No, no,
That is
no, no,
what
no,
is
no,
wrong.
no, 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 no.
You had absolutely no initiative. You played a
What?
couple of good chances on the counter, but apart from that, you didn't even try to win. You just sat back for 50 minutes, 60 minutes. Yeah, you created one or two chances, but you didn't even play. Did Arsenal play Arsenal's way? Just tell me that. Even for 10 minutes of the game, did Arsenal play Arsenal way? 10
Arsenal
minutes.
didn't play
Forget
Arsenal's
90
way.
minutes. Did Arsenal play for
Arsenal
15
didn't play
minutes?
Arsenal's way. We
For
adapted
15 minutes.
to the
For
way I
15
think the
minutes, you did it.
champions team would play. Okay. And secondly,
You're proving my point.
Arsenal didn't let City play the way they do at Etihad. Okay, you talk about their defensive lineup being shaky.
Again,
You
City
look at
didn't play this
Rodri.
way.
Rodri
Liverpool
was back.
dropped.
De Bruyne
United.
was back for this particular leg. Where you saw the statistics. Apart from Nathan Ake, who got subbed off in the 5th or 6th minute, God knows when, the person with the least number of touches was Kevin De Bruyne. Do you understand what that means? Can you even
Again and
fathom the
again,
idea
you're
of
proving my
De
point.
Bruyne?
You're talking about other teams. You play Arsenal's way for 15 minutes. Forget, okay, you defended superbly for 75 minutes.
What's your
Did you
point?
even attempt? Did you even
No,
attempt to
but
play your
but but
natural,
But
Rice bombarding the box,
yeah,
playing
okay,
your
okay.
interchanges,
We didn't
playing
even
your
if
wingers in? Where,
even
okay,
if
if you're talking about
even if
individual, where
we
the hell
didn't
was Saka?
play, even
Saka
if
was
Arsenal
oblivious.
didn't
Zero
play,
touches, zero chances created, zero passes made, zero shots on target, zero shots attempted. He just did cardio the entire game. If you're
one
talking about
second,
individuals, that's what you can talk about all the shitty performances that Arsenal had at one end and
yeah,
super performances that
but
they had at the other
I
end.
think the
And
difference here,
same for City. My point is, why are you talking about KDB not getting his touches or Ake getting injured? For US, you defended superbly for 75 minutes. Did you even play
for our
Arsenal's
90,
way for 10 minutes, 15 minutes? Did you even try? Did you even
why
attempt to string
will
20 passes, 30
no
passes together?
and
That's my point.
no, and that is completely okay because as an Arsenal fan, that is not what we wanted. Going to Etihad, it's
Yeah,
not important that
exactly.
Arsenal
The
play Arsenal's
mentality,
way.
that is the
In a
difference. You
season,
don't
we
even
are
want to win.
serious title
You are happy with the
contenders.
point. You're happy with the point.
Exactly.
The
In a
mentality is
season
you're happy with the
where
point. You're like, let them take, let us
we
stay
are
in.
happy with the
Forget
point.
about us
When have I
winning.
said
Let us
I'm
stay
not
in the
happy
point.
with the point? I am
That's my
extremely
point.
happy
A
with the point.
championship mentality changes only when you win. City
Oh
are not
my
happy with
God.
the point. City
I
are
think you're
never
just
happy with
throwing
the
some
point.
big, big
Liverpool are
words
never
out
happy with
there
the point.
just because Arsenal
Sorry?
haven't won a title in a while now. Okay. But it was very important that Arsenal handled that particular match in that particular fashion. I don't know why you're not able to understand that point, but I am extremely convinced, and I do not care if Arsenal didn't play one match the way Arsenal plays. Out of 38 matches, it's okay if one match they don't play the other way, because other teams are destroying them left, right, and center. This match was very important that we lose, both for our personal confidence and also for not letting our contenders get a head up on us. And we handled that beautifully, extremely well, in a completely unconditional fashion. And we got the result for it. We went to
Let's see.
Etihad and
Let's
came back
see.
to point.
Let's come back to this when Arsenal eventually. I mean, I hope that they eventually win the Premier League. Maybe this season,
I
maybe
don't
next
think you hope
season,
that we
maybe
eventually
next
win.
season, maybe next season, maybe next season, maybe next season. Then we'll see. You next season try for 5 points of Liverpool and City, or 6 points of one of them and 4 points of the other team. That's
We might.
progress.
We might. That's probably next year's goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for this season,
That's the point. The goal is 1 point to 1 point. The goal is not winning. But okay, fine.
the
As
goal
long
is
as the
winning that.
Arsenal fans
The
and
goal
Arsenal
is
team
winning
is
that
happy with it,
title
who
at
am
the
I
end
to
of the
say?
season. The
Who
goal
am
is
I to
winning the
say
title at
anything?
the end of the season. Correct. And if you're saying the graph after last year was only upwards, Arsenal will be back. They'll perform well. Then yes, the graph is only upwards, and Arsenal are performing well. Only difference this time is we've learned last year's mistakes, and we've learned that we are title contenders. We need to be competing against two teams
So
who are at
okay,
their
give
absolute
me
best.
if okay, assuming you win this season,
Yeah,
every single point that we have made on this episode is moot. If you don't win the title this season,
yeah.
forget this game. If you don't win the
Hmm.
title this season, this entire whatever points that all three of us have made is moot only. It doesn't
No, I
matter.
don't think so, because our points are still valid, man. Because going into
Okay,
next
fine.
season,
Your
we've
points are
still
valid.
drawn
My
at
point.
Etihad. Your
My
points are
point.
moot. Yes.
Okay, fine. Wait, if Arsenal don't win, my point is moot. I am the one saying Arsenal should have won the game. If Arsenal don't win the title, you're saying my point is moot.
Look, dude, there are so many other matches. If Arsenal don't win this season, there are so many other winnable matches that I would look back to. Like Fulham,
Exactly. In
like Villa.
retrospect,
I won't go back to drawing at Etihad. That is still a victory. Why do not
I am not
understand that
talking
point?
exactly. I'm not talking about in a grand scheme of 38 games. You are
Uh,
going to drop a billion points. That's not going to. I'm not talking about. You'll not go back and be like, oh, that Etihad draw was the one where we lost the game. Or even if you win by 1 point or 2 points or 3 points, you're not going to go back and say that Etihad draw was where we won the game. No, you're not going to say that. I understand that. I'm not even saying. I'm not even talking about that one game as a representative of the entire season. I am saying if Arsenal would have won this game, they would have gone level on top and had their destiny in their own hands. Simple as that. Now that they don't have the destiny in their own hands, if they win, well and good. It doesn't matter. Even if you had lost, even if you had defended or attacked or lost, my entire thing saying that, oh, Arsenal should have beaten City will become moot because Arsenal won the title. No, it doesn't matter if they beat City or not. Who cares? But if Arsenal don't win the title, okay, fine. Even then, you're saying my point will be moot. I don't understand how, but okay, fine. I agree to that also. My point is completely moot. I am saying since you're so happy with the progress and the project and the growth, what is your ultimate aim? In what range of time do you think this Arsenal will win the title? And what is the flip switch that Arsenal need to do in case they don't win this season to take a title? What according to you should change?
from last season, what were our demerits last season? We
That's what
had
the
a very
mentality you
convincing
brought in
lead.
it when you were at the
We
top
at
of the
one
table.
point we were 11 points up. We were 8 points up. That became 5. That became 2 and 0. Okay,
Hmm.
and a lot of Arsenal fans would argue that we didn't have our star players during crucial matches. And okay, whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah.
This season, now we do have those players. Correct. Now you're talking about winning 10 games, winning all 10 games. Yes, if you win 10 games, you would have won the title. Now you have only 9 games. Even if you win those, your fate is in the hands of Liverpool. Huh? Correct.
Hmm.
Agreed.
Hmm.
But where I'm saying that progress has happened is in these small games. If you see City versus Liverpool that happened last week, that could have also gone in either way. That ended as a draw. Why nobody's talking about, oh shit, Liverpool should have won that game, or no, City should have won that game. At the end of the day, it was a 1-1 draw. They could have also had the destiny in their own hands. Correct. Coming to this game, Arsenal playing City. Ashwin, maybe as a neutral fan, I don't know if you understand this, but you ask any other fan going to Etihad, Arsenal versus City, who would you have win that match? Tell me honestly.
I myself am saying
No,
if
no, you
Barca were
answer
to
this
go to
question.
City,
Who would,
Definitely.
yes,
I'm not even
correct.
debating that fact.
City. So no matter how good Arsenal are, the favorites there are going to be City, and no matter what, you are going to be dancing to their tunes over there. So we went
I am
prepared. We
saying
went
you are
ready for
not
a war.
dancing. You were clearly the better team over there also, and even then
Yeah,
you
no,
didn't
not
manage to show some initiative to try to drive that better team factor home. If Barca were dominating again, not dominating, but if Barca were competing for 90 minutes with City, competing, forget dominating, competing with 90 minutes
yeah,
City,
yeah.
okay, maybe this all comes down to the fact that uh, as a Barca fan, I am used to winning titles. This is
Hmm.
not a slight
No, no,
at
no.
Arsenal.
Even it's okay. Yeah.
It's a fact of the matter is Arsenal haven't won in a long time,
Hmm.
right? So
Right.
maybe this whole debate comes down to my inherent nature that I want to win everything every
Hmm.
time, regardless of the
Okay.
team. I want to win with Oriel Romeo also. I want to win with the Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang also. I want to win with some kids also.
Hmm.
And Arsenal are building something. Yeah, maybe now that I'm talking about it, maybe I realize maybe that is where you're coming from and this is where I am coming from.
Yeah.
But just if Barca were going to City,
Yeah.
definitely I'm saying at Etihad, City are the favorites. Even if Madrid come to City next week, City are the favorites. I'm saying as a Barca fan, right? At least because of my the fan base that I have built my
Hmm.
thing on.
Yeah.
If I was competing with City for 90
Yeah.
minutes,
Yeah.
okay, and there were phases where I was completely frustrating City. I was managing to play this thing. I would obviously at the end of the game, will I say one? If I take a draw back home, it's a good result. Yes. Even now, I'm saying superb result. But somewhere in my mind, right, in the corner of my mind, as a Barca fan, I'll be like, shit, yaar. When we were there, when we were competing, okay, if we were completely getting thrashed, I would be like, ye to hota hi hai. Matlab, obviously expected City were going to trash Barcelona. But if I was competing, even if there's 1% chance, right? I would, as a Barca fan, I would be like, and as a Barca player also, Barca, that is what is winning DNA, right? Same, okay, forget Barca not winning for a couple of seasons now. Let's just take Madrid, for example. If Madrid are competing for 90 minutes, right? It's in their DNA to think, shit, one chance, two chances, 3 minutes if we had played our way, it would have been a completely different result.
Yeah.
1 point is great, absolutely great. That point is not being debated here at all. I'm saying in those 90 minutes,
Hmm.
as a champ, what Arsenal need to do better going forward in their
Yeah.
progress is
Yeah.
they should not think of the fact that we are maybe not the favorites. They should not
Hmm.
think of the fact that, yes, they are not the favorites, but they should not have that in themselves.
Right.
That is
Right.
what
Right.
Madrid play 93 minutes. They were 2-0 down to City. 93rd minute, they had come back. You think that mentality, you get that winning mentality. You're like, if you give me one chance, I will take 3 goals. It's that
Hmm.
kind of
Hmm.
thing
Hmm.
that is what I'm supporting Arsenal here. That is what I'm saying. Arsenal will become the true conquering Arsenal, which they have the potential for, only when that switch flips to a
Right.
point where they say, you know what? We are competing. We are Arsenal. We have the quality. You come, you play to our style. Okay, fine. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
See that flip switch, right? When that happens, Arsenal will be all conquering because they are the youngest good team in the league.
Hmm.
City are aging,
Yeah. Yeah.
except maybe a couple of stars. Liverpool are going through flux. Salah is probably, I mean, getting older. Their star players are getting older. I think Arsenal are in prime position to dominate the PL. And I
Hmm.
just feel if they start missing out on small opportunities like this, suddenly you look back and 5 years down the line, you're like, oh shit, we lost that title by 2 points. We lost this title by 3 points. We lost that title. Shit, yeah, our golden period. This is what Belgium national team faced in the national game. Golden generation, if they miss out, right, that is the problem. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, result, 1 point, unbelievable result. Arsenal were clearly the better team. I'm saying that mental flip switch where they say, you know what, if we are competing, let us take it one step further. That flip will happen, eventually it will happen. As a neutral fan, I felt, arey yaar, it should have happened now, because that comes from me being a supporter of a team where winning is considered to be absolute basic necessity. We have to win. On top of that is when play style, you have to win playing the Barcelona way, you have to win with 70% possession, all that. But a loss is not even like it's not even considered. Even now, if we lose a game to Madrid or something, it's considered a humiliation. Even though at this point in time, Madrid are vastly superior compared to us. So
Yeah, yeah.
that mentality
Mm.
is what I'm saying. That once that switch flips, right, then there will be no stopping Arsenal. Coming back to just that game, as a neutral fan, I felt that was their chance to flip that switch. But instead of completely going for it, they just said, you know what, let's solidify what we are right now, and we live to fight another day, other day kind of thing, which
Huh.
is completely
Okay.
justified. Happens.
Yeah.
That is
I think
completely okay. You understand what
I
I'm
think
saying? So that is
I
the
do. I
point
do.
I'm
I
trying to.
totally understand what you're saying. I
Yeah.
just feel like you answered your own question about how Arsenal, yes, we may not have winning in our pedigree, but this entire empire that Arteta is creating is
Yeah. They need to
towards
think
winning.
of that as a winning,
So
that
that's
thing.
not going to be built overnight. It's a step-by-step
Yeah,
process, correct?
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
maybe tomorrow,
As a
like
neutral
Sashank
fan,
said,
when I
maybe
saw that
next
game,
season, yeah, yeah. So like Sashank said, maybe next season when we go there, our outlook will be probably different to that. But for this particular season and this particular moment, I think we played exactly how we should have, which is exactly why all of us are so happy with this performance.
yeah,
And you may say Arsenal have nothing to lose this season, but oh God,
Um,
we have everything to lose this
thing to
season.
lose.
Okay, and which is why the way we played this game was so important. And in the post match conference, in the talk, right, Arteta spoke about how he wasn't expecting to start with a low block. He wanted to play higher up, but when he saw the way City started playing, they eventually came back. Their wingers became, left backs. They played six at the back. Havertz dropped, Odegaard dropped, because they had to adapt to that. See, Arsenal did this last season too. We went out and started, but what happened there? Okay, agreed, we didn't have Saliba, but still, what happened? We lost 4-1. So the winning teams, they adapt to a particular situation. So Madrid's intent might be different. The way they think is different, but the way Arsenal think or what we're built for maybe right now isn't to defeat City 3-0 or win in the
right. So
last
that's
minute.
what I'm saying.
Now
I want
it's to
Arsenal.
adapt to
I want to see Arsenal play at
that will
Madrid's level.
happen,
That
man.
is
That
what
will
I'm
probably
thinking of.
happen.
I'm
But
thinking
we
of
are
the,
definitely on the right track. So overnight, you cannot expect a team who's losing 4-1 to City to go back to Etihad and win 3-0 the next day. That's
that's what
not
I'm
going to
saying.
happen. But from what
When
we take from this particular thing is that we know now to go to a very strong opposition team and we can come back with a clean sheet. So tomorrow, and this is very hypothetical, but tomorrow, if we are able to defeat Bayern 1-0 at Emirates, all of us have a very strong feeling that we might be able to go to Alliance Arena and prevent them from scoring. Which is why this has so much more than this 0-0 draw. I able to understand this, and I think I speak on
no,
behalf
no,
of Sashank also.
Yeah, yeah,
like I
for
said,
sure.
that point I didn't even like I completely agree. And to be honest, I think that it was the best thing that could happen was keeping that clean sheet. So I'm not even debating that point. My point is not that at all. I'm just saying that winning mentality, and that I've seen many teams, be it in cricket or in football or in sports, say, oh, we are on the right path, we are on the right path, we are on the right path. And you look back after a while and you're like, dude, we have just continued on that path, we don't have anything to show for it. This happened with Barca also, this happened with this, and you will be testament to it. Thousands of teams have fallen by the wayside, thinking, oh, we are progressing, we are progressing, we are progressing. That final flip and switch, right, that happens when you say, you know what, we are here now, this is our time, we are here for it. Come face us, see what happens to you. That mentality, right, that switch has to happen, and I'm sure it will happen. Just speaking of those 90 minutes, I'm just saying, as a fan, I felt like that just for those 90 minutes, that switch could have been flipped just for those 90 minutes, because Arsenal were toe to toe, if not even better than City in that game.
Mm,
So
mm.
of course, if you had won that, say, what happened? I mean, the learnings and the progress that you got from 0-0 would have been twofold, tenfold, 20-fold if you won that game 1-0, right? Of course, that is, yeah, that is the nature of the game. If you had
That's
lost
football.
2-0, you would have lost it by minus 24.
Mm.
I agree all that. Just purely based on those 90 minutes. Forget Arsenal's progress, forget City, forget who City are, forget who Liverpool are, forget the Premier League title race. This was uh, in the recent history, this was probably Arsenal's biggest chance to take 3 points off City. Of course, they got the point, which is still a great result. And of course, best case scenario would have been the victory. That no one is debating. But
Mm.
I just like, अरे थोड़ा सा कहीं कुछ रह गया. This might not make a difference at the end of the day. They might win the title. They might lose the title. This will this main, like you said, it's going to do a lot of good to their confidence. Maybe it'll help them in the Champions League to defend for long periods against Bayern, which is what is to be expected. But just purely from that game, 11v11, 90 minutes as a neutral viewer, I'm like, shit, yaar. Arsenal could have won this and made a statement somewhere at some point. But okay, let's
True.
see. Let's see how that
Yeah,
goes.
yeah, yeah. True. Like I said, plan A was to not lose. Plan B, I mean, the extra thing over there, the golden star would have been if luckily one of
Yeah.
Jesus' shots went in, or Trossard made that squaring to
I just
Square,
don't
Martinelli.
yeah.
want to see.
But it's
Yeah.
okay, these things happen.
I just
What we
hope
wanted
and
to see
I pray.
accomplished. That's
Yeah, I just hope and I pray that this whole narrative of progress doesn't just stay limited to progress. And I don't want to see this Arsenal team because I love Arteta. Because I like the play style. It's very similar to what we do. So I like watching Arsenal play football, right? So I just, as a well wisher, I just hope that this progress is just not I don't want it to just be progress. I want Arsenal to have something to show for it. Because
there
5 years
will
down the
be.
line, 6 years down the line, 7 years down the line, you're like, oh, we are perennial title contenders. Always
Right.
the bridesmaid, never the bride. I don't
Yeah,
want
yeah.
that to happen with Arsenal.
Yeah, that's great, Ashwin. But you realize, so apart from City and Liverpool, right, over the last few seasons, there hasn't been much competition. So if you look at the season where Leicester won, their main
Arsenal was second.
title contenders was probably like, yeah. And if you look at
Arsenal.
other seasons also, there was a clear favorite and there was a second, and there was nobody else. This is
Yeah.
such a
No,
difficult
I'm saying
season,
Arsenal
right?
are title contenders right now.
Yeah.
They're
So
here. I'm
I'm
just
saying,
saying,
if this was any other season and Arsenal were performing like this, we would have probably won the league. But now it is
yeah,
difficult.
exactly.
Unlucky for Arsenal, it is difficult, but it's also a great challenge.
Yeah, it's
So
a great
whatever
challenge,
it
and if
is,
they win it, it'll be great. I'm just saying, like going forward, also, I want to see Arsenal go into that phase of what City did for the past 5, 6, 7 years, or what Liverpool managed to do for those couple of years. I want to see Arsenal there because I genuinely feel Arsenal have the capacity. I
yeah,
don't want to see them limited to this so-called growth, so-called progress, so-called forget all that. You're here now. Take advantage of it because 10 years down the line, no one will remember, oh, Arsenal were progressing. They had that amazing title race. Everyone remembers Leicester won the title. Nobody remembers they're relegated right now. They're sitting in some championship. Because everyone has that feel good story of Leicester, winning the title. They came, they saw, they conquered quite literally. Right.
mm,
So Arsenal have the capacity to do that and sustain that for a period of time with the team that they have. And if they have
yeah,
the right investment and all, like sky is the limit, right? Like they have the young core already established. Rice, Odegaard, and all these people will be the Arsenal midfield for years to come. You add some amazing strikers and maybe a couple of good backups on the wing, and if Saka actually develops into a big game player, right?
yeah,
Who is to say this team will not be the best team in England for I don't know 10 years, right? So I'm just saying, let the focus as an Arsenal player, as an Arsenal manager, as an Arsenal staff, as an Arsenal this thing, that as an Arsenal fan, the atmosphere around the club should be win, 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 win. Start winning now and sustain that winning for a long, 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 long period. Of course, there'll be bumps on the way. I'm not saying that will happen now. I'm not saying if you start thinking about winning, you'll start winning. No, I've been thinking about winning. Have you won anything? No. But
no, no,
at the end of the day, I just feel like that thing should be there. The planning, everything which is set in place very well right now. And Arsenal are prime for the taking of so to speak of on the precipice of success. I just don't want it to be like, okay, we are content, we are here, we are thereabouts, and then slowly you look back, 2, 3 injuries, one season goes haywire, 2, 3 people get like a little discomfort among the squad. Some guy leaves on transfer, team crumbles. It's over.
right,
The
right, right,
golden
right,
period is gone.
yeah,
Right?
but yeah,
That is Barcelona 2015 for you. Like that was
yeah,
it.
yeah,
After
correct,
that,
correct. But
completely
all
one
this
change
is,
here, one change there. That sustained growth. I think Arsenal are
yeah,
there. See how that goes.
yeah. We'll just have to see how the rest of the season goes.
Let's see. Now, if they go on to lose to Luton Town, no, let's delete this episode, and I'll be like, I told you so. I told you so.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, if they go on to lose to Luton Town, that's it. I'm not coming again. You
Yeah.
guys,
So
I'll
really,
come
This
for some
podcast
NBA.
is over. This
Yeah,
podcast
I
is
mean,
disbanded.
I'm not watching football anymore. I'm just Milwaukee Bucks fan. We'll just do NBA episodes.
This podcast is disbanded after this.
Yeah, that's it. No more bench,
Lose.
only banter.
yeah, it was nice knowing. We won't be there anymore. We won't be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, regardless of whatever's been said, it's going to be an amazing end to the season. And I think all our clubs are there in the Champions League as well. So I guess that's restarting, man. I'm so excited for that, but I guess we'll save
Yes.
that for the next episode.
That's for another episode.
I mean,
Yeah.
start of April, and we're at the precipice of what could turn out to be 2 amazing months of football. And if it continues to be that, then 2 or 3 amazing months of banter as well. So
Yeah.
I would ask the viewers to stay tuned, because this is only going to get better from here. As the football gets better, we get better as well. And it's
Exactly.
going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see where this season takes us and how we
Exactly.
proceed for all our clubs, in fact, but especially for the clubs at the level of Arsenal and Barca, who need that spark to take them to the next this thing. It's going to be super fun.
All right. So I think we'll end that there. We've been rambling on for more than an hour talking about Arsenal and City. So let us know what you all think about it,
And do follow us on Instagram. Do subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify as well. And follow us on X, guys. We have this really cool series going on X, and I think you guys will have a lot of fun. Participate in that as well, and let's have some fun related to all the sports that are going on right now.
yeah. Thank you, guys. Let's hope Arsenal defeat Luton, and we shall see you on the next one.
See you guys.